Song the Cat here. What's going on, my kittens? If you're new, please subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Hit a like button. Okay, so I had to take a little bit and chill for a little while. I was pretty pissed off with my last video. Oh god, I had some pumped up fucking rage there. So let's discuss the Mueller Mueller witness testimony. I considered that basically a clusterfuck, because really there was no, he didn't have a coherent answer to basically any questions at all. And that worried me a little bit. For a motherfucker who was in charge of a budget of $25 million, you would figure the motherfucker would know at least a little bit of what he was talking about. He would know what was in his own report. This motherfucker had no clue what was in his own report. Does anybody else feel the same way? Let me know in the comments. Because, to tell you the truth, if you don't know what's going on in your own shit, you really have issues. Especially if you're, oh god, and you're dealing with the President of the United States. If you're dealing with the President of the United States and you still don't have any idea of the contents of your own prosecutorial remarks, what the fuck? I watched a lot of the shit in that in his meat. Now, of course, naturally, he answers 90% of all the Democrats' questions. But when it came to the Republicans, he was like, which way did it go, George? Which way did it go? I don't know. I can't answer that, George. I don't know the answer to the question. Hey! What kind of Mickey Mouse bullshit would we see yesterday? For real. What kind of Mickey Mouse shit was it? Because it looked like to me the guy was just fucking an idiot. He didn't know anything in his own fucking report. He didn't know how to say anything in his fucking report. And all he did for the entire time was basically stonewall Republicans. That's all he did the entire fucking time. Poor Jim Jordan sitting there asking him questions, and he just sat there going, can I go home now? Can I have an old man break? My bladder's like half full, and like I need to go to the bathroom. I don't understand your question. I don't like what you're saying to me right now. I'm having a snowflake issue. I'm basically reading off of shit that was probably running through his mind like a fucking news sticker. Because I found it kind of funny to a certain degree. But I didn't feel sorry for him by any means. I felt like that this was a setup from the start. I felt like this dude had been talking to Democrats for the past month. Ever since he found out that he was going to be, talking to Congress about his actions with the Democrat Party. I have a feeling, personally, to me, I think that somehow that this whole thing with when it comes to the Democrat Party and all, I personally think that the Democrats were talking to him the entire time before he even got to, to sit in the seat and start answering questions. I think personally that the Democrats told him exactly what to say. That's why he could answer the Democrats. He could answer the Democrats' questions, and he couldn't answer any of the Republican questions because he didn't want to. Because he knew exactly that the Democrats were going to ask him about. Trump and how Trump is evil and how Orange Man bad and get rid of him and let's impeach and all this kind of other shit. And they fully well fucking knew that the Republicans were going to ask real questions that mattered. What was the procedure for FISA? Where did the Steele dossier? Did you ever investigate the investigators? Did you ever investigate Steele? All these questions, the Democrats knew that the Republicans were going to ask these questions. So I personally think they set up Mueller to just say, well, I'm not sure on this question. I don't know about this. I don't know about that. This was a setup by the Democrats. And they thought that that must be a glitch. Shit. They thought that this was going to completely fuck the Republicans over. They thought that this was going to be in the bag, and Trump would, they were going to be able to go straight for impeachment. Mueller was going to say, "Oh yeah, I'm sorry, he's guilty of sin, yada yada yada." It was a fucking disaster for Democrats, absolute disaster. You got a jittery old man up there, on the Hill, and he couldn't exonerate, but that's not what a prosecutor does. I'm not very smart, and I will be the first one to tell anybody I am not a smart man at all, by any means. But I do know this, that if you're sitting in front of Congress and Congress is telling you or asking you questions, you better have a really good fucking answer. For real, you better have a really, really good fucking answer. And Mueller had no good answers to any one of the Republicans' questions, but of course he had answers to the Democrats' questions. Go figure that. Hunting with a full auto. I love it. So, I mean, tell me what y'all think in the comments below. Personally, I think the guy should have never been investigating Trump because he can't understand his own bullshit. He did not write that report. The supposed Mueller report. He didn't write, his name may be on it, but he didn't write it. I guarantee his staffers wrote it. There was about 4 or 5 staffers sitting down for about a month, 12 hours a day, writing that bitch out for him. He perused over it. He gently looked at that report and said, yep, that's okay, send it out. That's basically the way it happened. I can almost guarantee it. So, like I said, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Share, like, subscribe. And you know, as normal, keep the peace. Do long division. Talk to y'all later.